there, guys. Ken here, your thrifty apprentice, and welcome back to another thrifty review. In today's video, we are going to be taking a look at Royal and Langnickel Essentials 18 watercolors. This is their flip kit, which is a travel novelty kit that I became interested in looking at on Amazon. As usual, Amazon is going to be the death of me, I promise. So, but I happened to be walking through Walmart and passed through their art supply section and noticed that they carried this Royal and Langnickel flip kit. And since I was so intrigued with the palette, I decided I would go ahead and get it, especially due to the fact that Walmart, carried this at a really affordable rate. And we'll talk about that in just a moment. So the paints, or the travel kit, comes in this little plastic container. There's nothing really fancy about it. You can see the travel kit through because it is, see-through, transparent. It says 19 piece. And I guess they're saying 19 piece because they count the watercolors and the brush and the palette and the sponge as one piece. So 19 pieces. Royal and Langnickel Essentials Watercolor Artist Color Flip Kit, Travel Watercolor Set, Aqua Flow included. So they're talking about the brush. 18 watercolors, and it's just like a design, or should I say a picture of what the little levers look like fanned out, right? So then you flip it over and it says Royal and Langnickel Essentials, highly pigmented, vibrant watercolors. Paint trays pivot out for easy access to all colors at once. Portable and easy to use. Use the detachable sponge to remove excess pigment or water. Watercolors dry quickly in the pan for quick cleanup. Colors are transparent and blend easily, and includes 18 colors, a sponge, a mixing tray, and a water brush. So, that's the advertisement they have listed for the paints. Royal Langnickel Art Craft. It gives the royalbrush.com address, manufactured by Royal Brushes. It gives the address for that. Distributed by Royal Brushes, UK. Or I guess this is who is distributed by in the UK. 2019 Royal Brushes, all rights reserved, made in China. So the paints are made in China. Okay. Conforms to the ASTMD 4236 regulation. And then it just has like a SKU number for Walmart selling it, I guess. And that's pretty much what you get with the packaging. And you take this out, and here is the little travel kit. It's really cute and small and compact. That's what I really like about this design. The levers fan out so that you can get access to your paint. So you kind of get a little fan palette going on here. So let's just take a look at what we got. This is a mixing area and a sponge, which, if I'm not mistaken, that sponge is removable. Yeah, the sponge is removable, and you can reattach it if you need to. So that was my first time actually taking it off of there. Okay, and then it comes with a water brush. A little small travel water brush. That's probably like a number 6 head. Screws off. Fill it with water. It controls the water flow thanks to the little reservoir down here. All right. So that's pretty much what you get there. That is the holding tray and the sponge and the water brush. Now the paints themselves are really small. Now I'm not sure what this is the equivalent of, and I'll be honest, I did not go do the research to see what they may have claimed this was the equivalent of, but it's really small, as you can see from the way that tray is. I mean, there's no mistaking. But the paint is okay. Like the other Royal and Langnickel product that I have, which are the tube paints, and there's a review up on my channel if you guys want to check that out. The paints do kind of crack. Now, let me see. I have the palette here. This is the original Royal and Langnickel paint that I use, which I actually like using it, although it does crack when it dries down in the palette. And this is the 12 tube set. I don't believe that they're made in the same factory by any means. However, these happen to do the same thing, which is once you paint with them, once they start to dry, they have sort of a cracky texture. And when they dry down well enough, they will flake completely off. But as you use them, then they'll start to just kind of dry down like that. I don't know if you guys can see it, but that will eventually subside as you continue to use the paints. But I do not believe by any means there's a lot of paint in there. But there is a nice range of colors, right? So the only qualms I have with this design is that if you try to have all of them fanned, it is a little difficult to get to those paint colors at the very top. You have to close them off. So that's the only thing I don't like, especially if I've painted with one of these colors and that's wet, and now I have to close it off. I don't really like that whole concept, but not bad. Not bad at all for a design. That's just my opinion. And of course, any and everything I say is just my opinion. So let's take a look at the swatches for the paints. Let's see. No, that's not it. Here we go. So here are the swatches. As I said earlier, nice array of colors. There are no color names. There is no light fast information. So I just use the color names that they have on the end of each one of the levers to identify the color that is, you know, going up the tray. So I just wrote those corresponding numbers here so I can just kind of keep up with it for my own research purposes. You know, the paints don't just wow me. I'm going to be very honest. They're not bad at all. At all. I think it's a pretty cool travel kit. I think it's a pretty cool, maybe even beginner set to use if you just want to kind of get the hang of watercolor painting. I don't think they're going to disappoint you. You'll get a little color payoff. The colors were a lot more vibrant when they were wet. They do lose some of their luster when they dry down. So that's one thing to note. You can get more saturation, as you can see, as you layer the paints. You can layer them. They will layer very well, actually. And I'm going to show you an example of that in just a few moments. So didn't have any qualms with the layering aspect of the paints. They work well in wash or a lot of water or a really watery wash. I'm sorry, that's what I'm trying to say. You can still see the color. It just starts to build as you layer. And, you know, pretty straightforward. That is the swatches. You got a nice range of colors. The earth tones are okay. I do believe that spring green is kind of a throwaway color. They could have put something else there. Maybe even this particular purple here as well. I like C19. I like that violet. It's really pretty when it's wet. So yeah, that's pretty much the swatches. Let's take a look at some of the testing that I did. So the opacity test turned out really well. The paints did prove to be transparent, just like the advertisement said. And for all intents and purposes, I guess they are pigmented as well. I mean, I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys, $10. They were like $9.99, I do believe, for this travel kit at Walmart. So for $10 paints, I wasn't really completely disappointed. They just don't wow. I mean, they're $10 paints, and they're meant for, you know, kind of travel and on-the-go painting. So not studio painting necessarily. So they were transparent. I didn't get any sedimentation from any of the colors at all. The black is opaque enough to cover that black line. So that's kind of what you want out of your black, for it to be opaque. I did some color mixing here. I was able to get some different colors than the colors that actually come in the flip kit, which only expands on the fact that there's 18 colors. So now there's more you can mix. So I didn't do a cross temperature color mix chart. I did a cool and a warm, and I should have done a cross temperature color mixing chart in all honesty, but I still got some okay colors. I just know they're not as vibrant as they probably could have been with mixing those colors. And I really did water the mixtures down because I wanted to see what they would look like in a wet wash. So that's why they're not as vibrant, but they mixed well. They mixed really cleanly. There wasn't any mud, and that's what I was really looking for. They reacted well to salt. I love the way they reacted to the salt. That turned out really pretty, and I tried to use some really staining saturated colors when I did that in a really, really, really soupy block of water, and then just drop some salt into it. Reacted really, really well. Love that. You can get some really nice ocean effects, some really nice sky effects, even some really nice land effects with that salt technique. So that's something to keep in mind, definitely. And here, I'm going to go ahead and do the lift test. Because I have not done one. I always kind of, I don't know, do that with you guys. And I'm just going to see if I can. Now, that's a staining color, and I really did kind of, you know, really. And see, I'm lifting the paper up there. Yeah, that's just dry. I'm tearing paper as I do this, so I won't say that they lift very well. Now that yellow ochre color is lifting a little bit, but that blue, which I would attribute to like a phthalo blue, that one did not lift well. The let's try this green here. Yeah, no, none of that. Like the phthalo, what you would think would be like the phthalo colors, are not lifting at all. But the yellow ochre lifts a little bit, and so did the the yellow ochre and what I guess would be like the burnt sienna. It lifted a little bit, but yeah, so interesting. Not the best lifting range of colors, I don't believe, but transparent. So, you know, you give and you get. You win a little, you lose a little. But overall, not bad. You know, seriously, overall, not bad at all. I think the test turned out pretty well. And there are definitely some paints that I'm going to use. I'm going to use up. Let's take a look at some things I did with them really, really quickly before we jump on off of here. I did a hamburger, which you guys remember. It's a tutorial up on the channel. You can go check it out if you need to. This one was a mixed media. It was done with the Flipkit. I do believe I used gouache and some colored pencils. And it's done on one of the watercolor cards that I am going to eventually be selling on Etsy. Yeah, eventually those are going to be available. I also did the sunflower here, the forget-me-not with the sunflowers. Now, this was another mixed media project. It was done with the Flipkit, watercolor, Caran d'Ache watercolor crayons. I want to say the Derwent ink tints pencils. So all of that was kind of used in this composition. But again, I liked it. I had fun doing this one. I've had fun doing all of the ones that I've dedicated to just the movement of peace for Ukraine. So had a lot of fun. The paints layer really well, guys, for such a budget paint. For $10, those paints layer really, really well. And they hold up really well with other media. They help to build the intensity of other media. So I will say that they work really well in a mixed media format. Now here I used just the paints straightforward. I think I used just a little color pencil to accent the lining of the rose. But other than that, a little gel pen for my brightest highlights, and that was it. And this turned out really pretty in my opinion. I had a viewer comment on the video, of this demo up on the channel that they noticed that the paints layered well in just watching the demo, and they do. So I think they're going to work really well for travel painting and kind of painting out and about, especially in complement to my style of painting, which I like to layer a lot. So for all intents and purposes, guys, I guess I'm not going to, I wouldn't say don't buy the paints. Do I recommend them? Yeah, I recommend you buy them if you just have to have them. If it's something that you want to, have fun and play around with. You just happen to have a little extra money you want to buy yourself a little gift or something with. I think that would make a great gift to give as well if you just wanted to get somebody a gift. But I'm going to do some more paintings with these this summer. which I probably won't do another review. I may do a little update to the video description about my experience painting with them out and about. But as far as the in-studio testing, the painting with them, I think that they performed pretty well. And for $10, they were not a bad buy. Again, I wouldn't just run out and get them if I have something else that I can use, which, guys, you stay tuned for the video that's coming up on Friday. We're going to be talking about that, you know, using what you have. But if you just, you know, want to get yourself a little gift or something, sure, I would say get them because they are more economical than anything I've seen on like Amazon or Instagram. They were only $10 when I got them in Walmart. And if they haven't gone up, which I don't think they have, they you can still get them for that price. And the Royal and Langnickel brand is essential line. It's you know, it's a pretty cool student line. So yeah, there you have it. If you heard any information in this video that you like or that you found helpful or informative, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. Jump in the comment section. Let me know if you guys have used these. Or what do you think? Have you used another Flipkit? And how do you think it may compare to the information you heard about the Royal and Langnickel brand? Share the video. Remember that sharing is caring. Those likes and shares are going to help build the algorithm and get us in front of more people and help the channel to grow. Always the goal, guys. And thank you so much for your continued support. Remember, you can check us out on Facebook and Instagram. You can also post your paintings on the Facebook page. We would love to see them. Love for you to share with the community. Let everybody see how anyone who watches The Thrifty Apprentice may be growing. I would love to see that. And as I tell you at the end of every single video, just keep painting.